I do want to warn, this next video is rather disturbing. You are now within minutes of horror, and your only chances of survival is hitting that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. Now, as I said in my previous video about the woman who freaked out on Ryanair, who says she saw the devil, I am noticing a pattern here that involved demons. On Tom Calling's flight, the British boxer who was tackled, you can hear him say, "They are demonic," as he's being tackled. Some have heard him say that, including myself. On the woman on Ryanair, you hear her say, "That person over there is the devil." She says she sees the devil. Now, I did notice something very odd about the American Airlines woman, the woman who said that MFer is not real. In the alternate angle footage where you can see her get up out of her seat where she is clearly scared, she does walk away and then turns around to tell whatever this is to stop it twice.
No. So what's going on? No. Stop it. Stop it.
And I can't help but wonder, looking at this outside of logic, was whatever she was sitting next to trying to either possess her or try to get into her head? Now, this actually does go hand in hand with two people who said they were on this flight and saw her talking to somebody, and this other person she was talking to was not talking back, but they were looking at her as if they were talking to her telepathically, because you see her away from her seat and she's telling this to stop it.
Yes, I was on that flight, and yeah, we need to get into this because that shit was crazy. So I was sitting probably a few seats behind her, and when I tell you that this woman was minding her business and was quiet the whole time, and she seemed like she was doing fine the whole time, like she was not drinking, she was actually just sitting there very content. Then out of nowhere, she kind of began to get a little irate. I seen her, and I noticed that she was speaking to a man or a gentleman that was wearing a hoodie who was like sitting across from her, and he wasn't speaking, he wasn't saying anything, but she was kind of like holding the whole conversation, and she was including him in the conversation, and he was not saying anything. Then out of nowhere, she kind of got up and became very irate and
back from this woman. She was sitting in the right aisle, and she had this very interesting exchange with some dude in a hoodie. What I remember is she was having like a full-blown conversation with this dude in the hoodie. I'll call him the hoodie guy. She was having a full-blown conversation with hoodie guy. The weird thing was that he never once said a fucking word to her the whole time. And at the time, I don't know, I wasn't really thinking about it, but it's like she would say something and he like would respond, but there was no exchange happening. It was just her getting more and more frantic, which, okay, if she's drunk and she's going crazy, then you would think the dude in the hoodie would have been like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?" But he was just like dead locked on her, like deep eye contact with her, like I don't want to feed into the conspiracies here, but like almost like she was like in a hypnosis type of thing. She didn't seem drunk to me, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I didn't see her drink. I mean, she seemed totally normal to me up until that point.
And now the theme of demons still continues here, because we have another woman who had a freak out on her flight, where even the media compares it to a scene from The Exorcist. Now, this did take place in 2020. And this isn't a woman saying she sees something, but she's clearly possessed. And she could clearly be possessed by drugs, taking drugs and it affecting her mind. But like I said, we still have a theme playing here that we don't see on any other mode of transportation. And I scour the internet for any articles related to people seeing things that are not human on other modes of transportation, or acting demonically possessed. All you see is the normal fights breaking out, people arguing, but you don't hear of anybody saying they see non-human entities or acting like they're controlled by one. And here we have this woman who is acting like she's possessed by a demon. And if you were to put this clip in any movie that's related to exorcisms or demonic possessions, this would fit to the T. Now, I will go ahead and play this video, but I do want to warn, if you are sensitive to strong language, graphic language, please do click off now. If not, I am going to play the video now.
We gon' fuck all night, bitch! We gon' fuck all night, bitch! 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 I said, bitch! I said, fuck all night, bitch! Bitch! We gon' fuck all night, bitch! Cause we gon' fuck. And then, ah, shit, bitch! Bitch! No! No, Satan! I said, mama, this makes sense. This makes sense. Fucking makes sense. You ready to go? Yes. Come on. Let me help you.
Oh. You got it? You got it, sir? I got it.
Oh.
Trying to go home, bro.
She must have took some.
Right back? Huh?
That's
right back.
right there.
I was just trying to block her. I was just trying to block her.
Oh no, what you got? Keep on the plane. Wait, we're not leaving, are we? She got corona. So. She took some. She took that's some drugs. She took some. She was just fine in there, and she took some. Huh? Yeah, she was just sitting down in there just fine. She must have went to the bathroom and take some, and then.
I got this one under my Okay, she's got a charger and everything in there too.
Now, I did notice a few bizarre things in this video. One, throughout the video, it does sound like she does speak a demonic tongue at a couple points throughout the video. And two, you do hear passengers say, as this woman's being escorted off the flight, that she was fine. And the only conclusion they can come up with is that she went to the bathroom and took some drugs. Now, one can say this is mental illness, but all these people have something in common. Nobody is saying these people were freaking out at the airport. Nobody was saying these people were freaking out during boarding. It only happens while they're in the air or they're about to take off. Now, all these people who are seeing non-human entities or being possessed by them are being labeled crazy or mentally ill. But yet nobody's coming out saying they observed anything strange about these passengers prior to their flights. Now, I am not a doctor, so I cannot diagnose these people. I cannot say or can say these people are mentally ill. But as a paranormal channel, as a horror channel, as a channel that talks about theories, I do believe in demons. I have seen a demon. I have even discussed seeing Satan's face as a child. And that is one of the events that really motivated me starting this channel. So I have seen demons myself. So I do know they exist. And I do know the fear that they can give. The same fear that the woman on the American Airlines flight had. The same fear that the woman on the Ryanair had felt. And the same fear that Tom Cowling felt, the British boxer. I know what that fear feels like seeing a demon. Now, just like the woman on the American Airlines flight, we don't know this woman's name or what became of her, or what actually happened to her, because the story ends here. Now, what I find very odd is that there was a flight, a United Airlines flight in March of 2023, where this man threatened to end everybody's life on board. and then he stabs a flight attendant in the neck and tries to open the plane door. This happened in March. A couple days later, when articles came out, everybody knew this man's name. This man's name was Francisco Severo Torres, 33.
This morning, the FBI investigating reports of a terrifying mid-air attack on a flight from LA to Boston.
So where are they? Where's Homeland Security?
This video obtained by ABC News showing the 33-year-old suspect, Francisco Torres, yelling from
while
a seat
his situation was different, he was violent. These other people, the American Airlines woman who said that MFer is not real, and this woman who is acting possessed, were still disturbing the peace on a flight. And disturbing the peace on the flight is very serious. You will be detained. You will be arrested. And yet, we still know nothing of these people. The American Airlines woman, it has been well over a month, and we cannot even find a picture of her online. There are some that are saying she is Tiffany Gomez, but as I said previously, that really doesn't check out. Now, as I continue doing my research on these stories, it does seem like, with these unique experiences, there are demons at play here. But I do want to know your thoughts. Are these people mentally ill? Are they taking drugs and having bad reactions to them? Or are we really seeing a pattern of demonic activity taking place in our skies, especially since the veil may be thinning even more with things like CERN? But again, I do want to know your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.